Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really do appreciate that. Shout out, you feel me? It's Monday night. It's a celebratory day as it concerns the beginning of the week. I'm not sure. Remember, all of these talks are improvised, and so it's just that much more exciting. I feel like the entirety of my day leads up to this point, and actually, tonight I want to talk about something pretty serious. You feel me? It's called simping. Okay, so last night, we made a pretty cool video. I thought my camera and I, we, and so it was about like nuts.com and my mom's birthday today. So yeah, but that was then. Now we're gonna talk about simping, which is far more serious, right? Because simping could be affecting you. You could potentially be affected by simping. Now, you could be the simper or the simpee. It really doesn't matter, but it's important to recognize what simping is, how it can be prevented, and what you can do to ensure that if you're either one of these parties, you understand wholly what's going on, right? And so here's the thing, there's different kinds of ways to simp. It happens every day. IRL, it just is something that goes down. Simping is, again, not just a trendy new word, but something that every man at some point in their life has done as it concerns of a heterosexual nature and my relationship in knowing that kind of perspective and, the woman or whatever. Right? I mean, seriously, ladies out there, you know this. Your guy's about as dumb as the rocks that you walk across every single day. And again, I'm not hating. You guys realize I'm a guy. And so, am I saying that I'm stupid and just as about as dumb as a rock? Sure, I'm saying that because, yes, at one point, at many points in my life, I have been the simper, you know? And, I mean, or the simp, right? The simp, because the simper I think would be also the simpy. The simper is the simpy. Anyways, um, I just so what I'm saying is that ladies, at least from the heterosexual perspective, right? Because this is just from the outside looking in on my own individual circumstances in life, it just doesn't work, right? I mean, again, ladies, you gotta understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I know that you do. Every man out there with half a brain knows that you know exactly what I'm talking about as it concerns, getting straight hetero men to just do whatever, like just whatever. Like, I'm gonna call you back in a few days. I'm too busy to pick up the phone. Things like this, and it's sort of like, all right, man, I just as I get older, I mean, this is probably one of the biggest reasons I'm single. Low key, just no caps, to be completely honest, right? Because, well, I guess in every relationship at some point or one another, I've felt like this last one in particular from a couple years back, it was just, I couldn't have been more simpish. I really couldn't have. Looking back, anytime things are normal and life is just as much of it as it appears to be as possible, then I just feel like things are natural, things just work. The one person doesn't have to simp. There is no simp clause in any functioning relationship. But dysfunctional relationships therein have the underwritten clause of the simpage. And it happens. It happens in long committed relationships. It happens in short terms. It happens in one nights. I mean, we all wear different caricatures, all different avatars as we present ourselves to different people. I'm not going to cough mid speech, so it's okay. Ironically, that happened at 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Anyways, so like, it is what it is. Again, anytime you do something for somebody else just because you want something in return, and quite often they are aware of this, and most often in relationships, intimate ones, again, coming from my hetero perspective, it's always something that is contingent upon a behavior or, aforementioned action, but there's always a motive, right? And so a couple years back when I was in my relationship, it became an unrelenting sort of simpage festival from both of us, honestly, but more so for me as it concerned just like not wanting to accept that she just didn't like me as much as I liked her. There were flags everywhere, and again, at some point, I just feel like if the person that is being simped out by the simper isn't like dealt with in a way that's of an adult nature, and that simper continues to play out on the fact that they can get things from the simpy, then it's just kind of an unrelenting perilous cycle of bad things that ultimately end up with obviously the person that was simping being hurt the most, because simping has victims. It does, it really does. And it's unfortunate again because I knew, right? Again, it's both parties. Like one party knows that one person likes them more than the other, and the person that isn't liked as much as the other person knows this. And yet we continue to sort of hope. We sort of continue to just try and fantasize that tomorrow morning will change, and that person that you've been wanting to call for, the last 5 months or something is finally going to call you, because for the last 5 months they've been saying that they're going to get around to it. They've been really busy and they appreciate your understanding, and oh boy, they've just been so they don't have a moment, you feel me? Like, and you're supposed to respect that. You're supposed to be like, oh man, like, I'm so sorry, like, you're an awesome person. You must be like doing awesome things if you're busy all the time and you don't even have just a few minutes to pick up the phone and call me. I mean, holy macaroni. For example, when you guys like something or when you like someone, you know that it's just pretty going back to that natural thing to just call them. I mean, this doesn't require half of a brain. It's just a call, right? It's just anything at all that is more of substance than just like chats or texts. And the last few minutes of this video, I think that, like, moreover, it's often the case of the simps, when it's just done over chat. This is, in fact, where simps are bountiful in many numbers. The population's heavy on the simpage, or the simps as it pertains to their simpage. And the plethora of chats and DMs and text messages and IMs or whatever you send to another person that gets back to you when they feel like. Again, haven't you noticed that when people want something or they want to text somebody or they're waiting for a response, they're like all of a sudden they're not too busy to give you a couple minutes of their day. All of a sudden bothering them at work with some rant. I mean, it doesn't become a bothering thing, right? The day before it was a bothering thing, but now it's not because you like that person. Or the day before it was a bothering thing, today it was a bothering thing, and you still just don't like that person. Not as much as that other person might like you. Again, simps. Simpage. So, I'm going through this thing right now, right, where I just truly feel like things that people want, people get. So if people want to talk to one another, they talk to one another. It doesn't require a schedule. It doesn't require, a meeting time. It's just you're talking. This is the way that it works. And again, all of the successful relationships I've ever had in my life do involve at some point talking. Again, this is how we currently communicate. I mean, I know that there's some speculation that in the future we might be able to do things wirelessly, which I'm so very much looking forward to, right? Because I'd much rather just broadcast my thoughts into your brain so that we could just all be done with this so much faster. It wouldn't take about 11 to 14 minutes of our time every night just to get across a few points, right? But all that I'm saying is that simpage, simps, simpers, simpies, look out for it. You feel me? You never want to, again, give more than what the other person is giving you. Because if you're doing that, you might just be a victim of simpage. So consider all of those things we've talked about tonight, right? It's been a very serious subject, so I'd appreciate it if you held your head high and, was like, you went out into the world and talked about the dangers of simping, because again, we're just all very close to being the weakest, wimpiest little simps out there. And it's not a pride thing. It's a reciprocal, very natural, healthy thing. The things that you do when you want to do something, or the things that you do when you like someone, or the things that you do. And there's no faking that. There's no, I mean, there quite literally can be, but we'll save the other stories for other times. But I'm just saying that typically speaking, on the surface, that's what you're gonna get from people as they present themselves to you and so forth. And so just be careful. Don't become a victim of simping. That's all that I'm saying, because again, like, and it's circumstantial, right? Because this is coming from a straight single guy who, if I went to a bar right now and was just, at a random convo with a lady who might be interested in my time for the evening, again, I might just have to forego all of my pride, all of my inclination of wanting to hold any sort of, like respect for myself as it concerns the act of simping, right? But again, that's probably why I'm single, and that's probably why I realize or conceptualize these situations that I will absolutely never find myself in. Because I just would so much rather be here, just chilling, having this conversation, talking to myself on this broken, awful phone. And my name is Albert. This was Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you guys are doing well. You're very healthy, and you're doing the best that you can given the circumstances that you have in your life. You feel me? Because that's all a person can do. So be good with that. Be a good person. Bye.